Welcome to my channel. Valuable coins all world. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics, the 1994 Washington quarter dollar. This coin might seem like just another piece of currency from the Washington quarter series, but it holds a special place in the world of coin collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, this video will give you a comprehensive look at the 1994 Washington quarter, its historical significance, its design, and how a single coin can be worth up to $35,000. So, what makes this specific Washington quarter so valuable? Stick with me as we uncover its secrets, starting with a brief walk down history lane. A look back at 1994. The year 1994 was a pivotal one in both American history and global events. Domestically, the Clinton administration was in full swing, with Bill Clinton serving his first term as the 42nd President of the United States. This was a time of economic prosperity, as the nation saw a steady economic boom in the dawn of the information age. Meanwhile, internationally, the world was witnessing the end of apartheid in South Africa, and the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, was signed, paving the way for greater economic integration between the US, Canada, and Mexico. Coin collectors, however, would have been more focused on the subtle developments in the world of numismatics. The 1994 Washington quarter is one of those interesting pieces that tells a story of how even in a world filled with constant change, certain elements remain timeless, like the enduring legacy of the Washington quarter. The design of the 1994 Washington quarter. The 1994 Washington quarter carries a design that has become iconic over decades. Since its introduction in 1932, the Washington quarter has featured George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. But let's break it down in more detail to understand the subtle nuances of the design that made the 1994 version stand out. The obverse. George Washington's portrait. On the obverse, we see George Washington, the first President of the United States. The portrait of Washington, created by sculptor John Flanagan, was first introduced in 1932 and has been a defining feature of the quarter ever since. This image of Washington has become one of the most recognizable symbols of American leadership and resilience. The design on the obverse of the 1994 Washington quarter is no different from earlier years. Washington is depicted in profile, his face and features carved with sharp precision. The inscription reads, "Liberty," above his portrait, while the year 1994 is placed just below Washington's neck. To the right of his portrait, you will find the words, "In God We Trust," and at the top, the word United States of America circles the coin. The reverse. The American eagle. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the classic design of an American eagle, symbolizing strength, freedom, and the unbreakable spirit of the United States. This eagle is clutching an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, representing both peace and readiness to defend the country if necessary. The eagle is positioned atop a shield, and beneath it, the words "E pluribus unum" can be seen, meaning out of many, one. An expression of the unity of the diverse states that form the U.S. This reverse design has remained unchanged for decades, which speaks to the timeless nature of the symbolism it represents. The eagle's stance is one of majesty and vigilance, which makes it a striking visual counterpart to Washington's portrait on the obverse. The mint mark, a key element. Now, let's talk about the mint mark, a key factor when it comes to determining the rarity and value of a coin. The mint mark indicates where the coin was struck, and it can have a significant impact on a coin's collectability. For the 1994 Washington quarter, there are several key mint marks to consider. The majority of quarters produced in 1994 were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and carry no mint mark. However, some of the quarters were also produced at the Denver Mint and bear the mint mark D. A very small percentage were struck as proof coins at the San Francisco Mint, and these proof versions carry the mint mark S. Proof coins are made with specialized dies and are struck multiple times to achieve a sharp, mirror-like finish, which makes them highly sought after by collectors. Minting details of the 1994 Washington quarter. Now, let's take a closer look at the minting details of the 1994 Washington quarter. The U.S. Mint produced 1994 quarters in significant numbers, but it's the variations in mintages, the condition of the coin, and the presence of errors that make these coins so interesting to collectors. Total mintage in 1994, the U.S. Mint struck over 1.5 billion quarters for circulation. This large mintage number means that the 1994 Washington quarter is not particularly rare in the traditional sense. However, rarity can be determined by looking at the specific types of quarters produced, such as proof coins, coins in uncirculated condition, or coins with minting errors. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, the 1994 proof quarters, are particularly valuable due to their higher quality. These coins were specifically created for collectors and were produced in smaller quantities. Proof coins, especially those that have been well preserved, can fetch a significant premium in the marketplace. A 1994 proof Washington quarter in perfect condition, graded PR70 by a professional grading service, could be worth far more than a regular circulation coin. Minting errors. Sometimes, minting errors can cause a coin to become exceptionally rare and valuable. Errors such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks can significantly increase the value of a coin. If you happen to find a 1994 Washington quarter with any of these errors, you could be in possession of a highly valuable coin that could sell for thousands of dollars. The appeal of the 1994 Washington quarter to collectors makes the 1994 Washington quarter such a sought-after coin for collectors. The answer lies in a few key factors: its historical significance, the condition of the coin, and the rarity of certain minting errors. The condition of the coin. When it comes to the value of a coin, the condition is paramount. Coins that are well preserved, with little to no wear or damage, will naturally command a higher price. For the 1994 Washington quarter, the coins that are still in uncirculated or mint state condition are the most valuable. These coins may have been set aside by collectors or carefully preserved in rolls of uncirculated quarters. Coins graded as MS 65 or higher are highly sought after by collectors. If a coin is graded MS 67 or higher, it can demand a significant premium. While the 1994 Washington quarter may not be a rare coin in terms of total mintage, those that have been well preserved are still highly coveted by collectors. Rarity of proof coins. As mentioned earlier, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are rarer and more valuable due to their superior finish. These coins were struck specifically for collectors and not for circulation. 1994 proof Washington quarters are often among the most valuable in the series due to their excellent quality. Coins that are graded PR70, the highest grade for proof coins, are the most valuable, and they can sell for thousands of dollars on the open market. Mint errors. Another reason for the high appeal of the 1994 Washington quarter is the potential for mint errors. Minting errors can drastically increase the value of a coin, as they are rare occurrences that make a coin one of a kind. Errors such as double strikes, off-center coins, or misaligned dies can create unique and highly valuable pieces. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of errors, and a 1994 Washington quarter with an error could easily fetch several $1,000s, depending on the type and severity of the error. Value of the 1994 Washington quarter. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part: the value of the 1994 Washington quarter. While a standard circulated quarter from 1994 might only be worth its face value of 25 cents, there are specific coins that have sold for far more, up to $35,000, depending on their grade, condition, and rarity. A well-preserved 1994 proof Washington quarter can be worth anywhere from $50 to $200, depending on its condition and whether it has been professionally graded. However, if you're lucky enough to own a 1994 Washington quarter in perfect mint state or one with a mint error, the value could be substantially higher. Some rare proof errors and high-grade uncirculated coins have sold at auction for as much as $35,000. Conclusion: the 1994 Washington quarter dollar is a coin that holds significant value for collectors, not just because of its historical context but also because of its design, minting variations, and the potential for rare and valuable coins to emerge from the mintage. Whether you're looking at coins from the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, or the San Francisco Mint in proof form, there's something special about the 1994 Washington quarter that continues to captivate collectors and numism. Top 2. We're going to explore a coin that has been an enduring symbol of American history for decades: the 1987 Washington quarter dollar. While it may seem like just another coin from the series of Washington quarters, this particular year holds significant value historical context, and a level of collector appeal that might surprise many of you. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the journey of the 1987 Washington quarter, but also how one of these coins can be worth $45,000 in the right condition. Intrigued? Let's dive into a look back at the year 1987. The United States was undergoing significant social and political changes in 1987. Ronald Reagan was serving his second term as president, and the Cold War was still very much a reality, with the Berlin Wall standing as a symbol of division between East and West. The year 1987 also saw the beginning of major economic shifts as the stock market recovered from the crash of 1987 and technology began to take strides toward the digital age. But amid all these changes, there was something far simpler that also persisted: coinage. The 1987 Washington quarter was minted as part of the ongoing series that had begun in 1932. The quarter's design had remained relatively unchanged for decades, but each coin still holds a story, a moment in time, and, most importantly, significant value for numismatists and collectors. For many, the Washington quarter represents not only the legacy of George Washington, but also the strength and resilience of the American nation. The design of the 1987 Washington quarter. Before we dive into its value, let's take a moment to appreciate the design of the 1987 Washington quarter, which carries with it the familiar elements that have made this coin so iconic. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design, created by John Flanagan in 1932, is one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. Washington's profile is depicted with a sense of dignity and strength, qualities that have become synonymous with his legacy as the leader of the American Revolution and the first president. On the reverse, the eagle design is featured, with the majestic bird clutching an olive branch and arrows in its talons. The eagle's stance is symbolic, representing both peace and strength, essential qualities for the United States as it navigated through both domestic and international challenges. Above the eagle, the inscription reads, E pluribus unum, the Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one, symbolizing the unity of the states. The simplicity and elegance of the design is part of what makes the Washington quarter such a beloved piece of American history. And the 1987 version is no different. It might seem like just another year in the long-standing tradition of Washington quarters, but when you examine its minting and collector appeal, you'll realize it has more significance than you might expect. Minting details: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. When it comes to the 1987 Washington quarter, understanding where and how it was minted is crucial to its value. Like many U.S. coins, the 1987 Washington quarter was struck at several different mints, which influences its availability and desirability among collectors. The primary minting facilities for the 1987 Washington quarter were the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. However, the coins produced at these mints were not all identical in terms of quality. The most common versions are those struck for circulation, with the Philadelphia and Denver mints producing the bulk of these coins. The Philadelphia Mint, Philadelphia, being the birthplace of U.S. coinage, produced a significant number of 1,987 quarters. Coins minted in Philadelphia don't bear a mint mark, which can sometimes make them more difficult to identify. Despite this, they are still a key part of the 1987 mintage and are highly sought after by collectors looking for coins in pristine condition. The Denver Mint produced coins that carry the D mint mark on the reverse, distinguishing them from the Philadelphia coins. Collectors often seek out these coins for their slightly different characteristics in terms of strike and overall quality. As with the Philadelphia coins, the Denver Mint coins were struck in 90% silver until 1964, and later, copper-nickel alloys. This silver version of the coin from earlier years remains the more valuable variety due to its precious metal content. The San Francisco Mint. Lastly, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1987, which were specially struck for collectors and not intended for general circulation. These proof coins have a shiny, mirror-like finish, and they often command a premium in the marketplace because of their superior quality. If you happen to own a 1987 proof Washington quarter, it could be worth much more than a standard, circulated quarter. Collectability. Why is the 1987 quarter so valuable? The 1987 Washington quarter holds particular appeal for collectors due to its historical significance, its place within the broader Washington quarter series, and its relatively low minting numbers compared to other years. But the real question is, why does this specific year command such a premium on the market? To answer that, we need to explore the concept of rarity and condition. As with any collectible item, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. A well-circulated coin from 1987 might only be worth its face value or a small premium for its silver content. However, the condition of the coin, as assessed by professional grading services, can substantially increase its value. Coins that are graded as mint state, meaning they show little to no signs of wear, are far more valuable to collectors. In particular, the 1987 Washington quarter can see significant value if it is graded as MS 67 or higher. A coin with this grade means it has almost no visible flaws, and in some rare cases, coins that have been preserved in perfect condition can sell for upwards of $45,000 at auction. Key factors that impact the value of the 1987 Washington quarter. 1. Minting errors. Just like any other coin, the 1987 Washington quarter can be subject to minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks. These errors can make a coin far rarer and increase its value significantly. If you come across a 1987 Washington quarter with such an error, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars more than a regular coin in circulation. 2. Grading. The higher the grade, the higher the value. As previously mentioned, coins graded MS 67 or higher can fetch an impressive price. The grading system, which ranges from MS 60 circulated to MS 70 perfect condition, is a critical factor in determining the final price of a coin in the marketplace. Coins in the highest grades are the most desirable and valuable to collectors. 3. Proof coins. As mentioned earlier, proof coins from the San Francisco Mint often fetch a premium due to their pristine quality and mirror-like finish. A 1987 proof Washington quarter can command significant value, especially if it is graded highly. The 1987 Washington quarter. Today, the 1987 Washington quarter is considered a valuable collectible, and its value continues to appreciate as collectors seek out rare, high-quality specimens. Whether it's for its historical significance, its silver content, or its collector appeal, this coin is a must-have for any serious numismatist or coin enthusiast. And with the potential to sell for $45,000, the 1987 Washington quarter is a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Conclusion: the 1987 Washington quarter dollar may seem like a simple piece of currency at first glance, but as we've seen, it holds much more significance in the world of coin collecting. Whether you're drawn to its historical legacy, its striking design, or the possibility of discovering a rare gem in your collection, this coin is a testament to the enduring appeal of American numismatics. If you happen to have a 1987 Washington quarter in your possession, it's worth taking a closer look. You may just find that what seems like a humble coin is actually worth far more than you could have ever imagined. Top 3. We're diving into a remarkable and intriguing piece of American numismatics, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar. While the design has been a staple in American coinage for generations, the 1967 quarter stands out for a variety of reasons. In this video, we will explore its historical context, intricate design, minting details, and its surprising collector value, which can reach up to a staggering $74,000 under the right conditions. Let's first look back at the historical period that produced the 1967 quarter. The United States in the 1960s was a time of immense social and political change. The Vietnam War was intensifying, and the civil rights movement was at the forefront of national conversation. It was a turbulent period, full of protests, social upheaval, and a fervent desire for change. Yet, despite these turbulent times, the Washington quarter stood as a constant reminder of the nation's founding values and principles. The Washington quarter itself had been in circulation for nearly 3 decades by 1967, but that year marked a crucial period in its legacy. It was the last year the quarter would be struck with a 90% silver content before the United States would make the transition to a more cost-effective copper-nickel alloy in 1965. These 1967 quarters, particularly in pristine condition, have become highly sought after by collectors for this very reason. The Washington quarter first appeared in 1932, a tribute to the nation's first president, George Washington, and his role in establishing the fledgling United States. The coin was designed by John Flanagan, whose rendering of Washington's image has become an iconic representation of American values. Flanagan's design for the obverse features a detailed profile of Washington, while the reverse portrays an eagle perched upon an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. The design was a continuation of the previous quarter design used during the early 20th century, but its modernized version during the Great Depression was seen as a fitting tribute to the nation's history. The eagle, an emblem of American power and sovereignty, would become one of the most revered symbols in coinage history. But why is the 1967 Washington quarter particularly interesting, and why are collectors willing to pay as much as $74,000 for one? Let's explore. The 1967 Washington quarter. The key details: the 1967 Washington quarter has become particularly valuable for collectors due to its silver content. Between 1965 and 1970, the U.S. government made a significant shift in the composition of its coinage. In response to rising silver prices, the government decided to remove silver from the majority of its coins, replacing it with a less expensive copper-nickel blend. The 1967 Washington quarter, however, was still made of 90% silver, just like the quarters minted from 1932 to 1964. This makes it a relatively rare and valuable coin for those who specialize in silver numismatics. The silver content alone contributes to its appeal, especially among silver collectors who value not just the historical aspects but also the precious metal content. With more than 1.7 billion 1967 Washington quarters minted across various mints, primarily the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, you might assume the coin is fairly common. After all, with such a high mintage, it would be easy to find a 1967 quarter in circulation. But while these coins were produced in large quantities, the real value for collectors lies in the condition of the coins. The design of the 1967 Washington quarter. The design of the 1967 Washington quarter is almost identical to the design seen in previous years. On the obverse of the coin, we have George Washington's likeness in profile. Washington is shown wearing the familiar high-collar coat, with his hair neatly pulled back. This image, designed by John Flanagan in 1932, has been synonymous with American numismatics ever since. Flanagan design, while simple, is incredibly detailed. Washington's face is full of character, and the engraving conveys strength and confidence, embodying the nation's first president. Around Washington's bust, the inscription reads, "Liberty and in God we trust." The year 1967 is also inscribed beneath Washington's neck. On the reverse of the coin, we find the image of an American eagle, one of the most powerful symbols in American iconography. The eagle is perched with an olive branch and a cluster of arrows in its talons, a design representing the nation's quest for peace while still maintaining the strength to defend itself if necessary. Above the eagle, the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, is inscribed, a phrase that means out of many, one, referencing the union of the states. The design, as iconic as it is, has not changed much in the years since its introduction. The Washington quarter has remained one of the most enduring and recognizable coins in the United States, and the 1967 version is a beautiful representation of American patriotism and history. The minting of the 1967 quarter. The 1967 Washington quarter was minted at two primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The coins minted at Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those produced at the Denver Mint carry the D mint mark on the reverse side. In addition to these standard issues, proof coins were also produced, and these proof versions, with their mirrored, high-quality finishes, are often more valuable than those struck for circulation. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, though not specifically part of the regular minting process for 1967 quarters, have been a valuable part of collector sets for years. The process used to mint the 1967 quarter at the time was the standard coin press method. However, there were variations in the strikes, with some coins being struck with slightly more force, resulting in more detailed, sharper features. This difference in the strike quality has a big impact on the final value of the coin. In addition to these variations, there were also occasional minting errors. Some of these error coins, such as double strikes, off-center coins, or die cracks, are highly prized by collectors. Such error coins can add substantial value to the base price of the coin, making the 1967 Washington quarter a particularly interesting target for numismatic enthusiasts. The value of the 1967 Washington quarter. Let's get to the big question. What makes the 1967 Washington quarter worth so much? A typical 1967 quarter is worth just its face value of 25 cents, but that's if it's in poor or circulated condition. However, when the coin is in mint state, its value increases dramatically due to its silver content. A typical 1967 Washington quarter in average circulated condition is worth anywhere from $5 to $10 based on its silver content alone. However, if you have a high-grade coin in mint state, the value can be much higher. AMS 65 graded 1967 quarter could be worth approximately $25 to $50. But once you start to get into MS 67 and higher grades, the price climbs steeply. Some collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for a pristine MS 68 or higher graded coin, particularly if it is from the Denver Mint and has been well preserved. In fact, certain 1967 Washington quarters have been sold at auctions for $1,000 to $5,000 or more, depending on their condition and rarity. The $74,000 price point is typically reached when there's something especially unique about the coin, whether it's its condition, an error during the minting process, or some other rare factor. A double die error or an off-center strike on a 1967 Washington quarter could elevate its price drastically. When such errors are discovered, they are often snapped up by collectors eager to own a piece of history. The 1967 Washington quarter today, the 1967 Washington quarter remains a popular target for collectors due to its historical importance, its silver content, and the sheer number of variations available. Many collectors focus on acquiring all of the Washington quarter designs, and the 1967 quarter is a key piece in that puzzle. The interest in silver quarters from the 1960s has only grown as people become more aware of the coin's historical significance and the value of its silver content. In addition, the rich designs and minting history make the 1967 quarter a coveted item in any coin collection. Conclusion: the 1967 Washington quarter is far more than just a piece of currency. It is a link to America's past, a symbol of the nation's resilience and its enduring values. Though millions were minted, it remains a valuable part of American history, especially for numismatists who understand the significance of this coin's design and silver composition. While most of these coins are relatively inexpensive, rare and high-quality examples can fetch prices well above $74,000, making the 1967 Washington quarter an exciting and potentially profitable part of any coin collection. So, if you find yourself holding a 1967 quarter in your hand, take a moment to appreciate its rich history and potential value. You might just be holding on to a treasure worth far more than face value. Top 4. The 1999 Jefferson nickel. Though it's just a 5-cent piece, this coin has a story to tell that's far more valuable than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this video will give you a closer look at the historical context, the design, the minting process, and of course, the stunning value of this particular coin. Stick around until the end because we're going to reveal just how much a rare 1999 Jefferson nickel can be worth today. Spoiler alert, it could be a lot more than you think. To truly appreciate the 1999 Jefferson nickel, we need to step back in time and explore its origins. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag. The coin was meant to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the country's founding fathers. Jefferson was chosen because of his contributions to the nation, particularly his role in drafting the Declaration of Independence and his vision of an expanding America. His legacy lives on not only through his political actions but also in the design of this coin. The original design of the Jefferson nickel featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, the front side, and an image of his Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. Monticello, which means little mountain in Italian, was Jefferson's home and a symbol of his ideals of education, liberty, and classical architecture. The design has remained largely unchanged for decades, with only minor updates made over the years. By the time the 1999 Jefferson nickel was minted, it had become a staple of American currency, with its distinctive portrait of Jefferson and Monticello serving as a reminder of the nation's founding. Now, let's focus on the design of the 1999 Jefferson nickel itself. The obverse of the coin features a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left. This image is based on a painting by artist Rembrandt Peale, one of the most famous depictions of Jefferson. Above Jefferson's head is the word Liberty, and just below his portrait, the coin bears the inscription, "In God We Trust." The year of minting, 1999, is prominently displayed near the bottom of the coin, and the mint mark indicating whether it was struck in Philadelphia or Denver can be found beneath the year. This is a clean, elegant design that captures Jefferson's character, stoic, determined, and deeply invested in the American ideal. The reverse of the 1999 Jefferson nickel, as with other years, features an image of Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia. This grand building is a symbol of Jefferson's personal and intellectual legacy. As one of the greatest American architectural feats of the 18th century, Monticello represents Jefferson's passion for education and his belief in the importance of reason, science, and liberty. The inscription, E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one, appears above Monticello, reinforcing the nation's unity. Beneath the building is the word Monticello, and just below it, the denomination 5 cents appears, clearly identifying the value of the coin. The design of the 1999 Jefferson nickel wasn't just a simple reissue of previous year's designs. It marked a continued evolution of the coin, as certain elements of the Monticello image were slightly refined, providing a crisper, more detailed representation of the building. This change reflects the ongoing effort to keep the coin relevant while still honoring the historical legacy it represents. Now, let's move to the minting process. The U.S. Mint produced the 1999 Jefferson nickel in both Philadelphia and Denver, just like many of the years before it. These two mints are the primary locations for coin production in the United States, and each coin carries a mint mark that identifies where it was struck. The Philadelphia Mint, which is responsible for producing coins without a mint mark, struck the majority of the 1999 Jefferson nickels. Meanwhile, the Denver Mint, which produces coins with a D mint mark, also played a role in striking the 1999 edition. Throughout the years, the U.S. Mint has strived for high-quality coin production. The 1999 Jefferson nickels were minted using a combination of copper and nickel, with the coin maintaining the same 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy that has been used for decades. This alloy composition gives the coin its characteristic color, and the U.S. Mint's quality control ensures that each coin produced meets the standards of accuracy and consistency. However, like most coins, the 1999 Jefferson nickel is not immune to imperfections. In fact, as with many years of coinage, there were a number of variations and errors produced in the minting process. These errors are what make certain 1999 Jefferson nickels particularly valuable to collectors. Variations such as double dies, where the design is accidentally stamped twice, leading to a doubled appearance of the coin's image, and off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during minting, can result in rare and highly collectible pieces. Coins with minting errors are often sought after because they represent a mistake that adds rarity and uniqueness to an otherwise standard coin. The 1999 Jefferson nickel is one of the most common coins you'll find in circulation, but there are certain rare varieties that collectors highly prize. For example, one of the most notable errors on a 1999 Jefferson nickel is the doubled die variety. In this case, the design on the coin appears to be doubled, with certain letters, numbers, and details of the image showing up twice. These kinds of coins are rare and have become highly collectible, as they represent a unique quirk in the minting process. Another potential variation is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is misaligned, causing part of the image to be cut off. These coins are also in demand due to their rarity. Coins that were well-preserved and in near-perfect condition also fetch a higher price in the market. Coins that show little to no signs of wear, with sharp details and no visible scratches or discoloration, are considered more valuable than those that have been circulated extensively. That's why uncirculated 1999 Jefferson nickels are highly sought after by collectors. The better the condition, the higher the coin's potential value, making a well-preserved coin worth significantly more than a heavily circulated one. Now, let's get to the most exciting part of this video: the value of the 1999 Jefferson nickel. Most coins from this year are worth just their face value of 5 cents, especially those in typical circulated condition. However, certain rare varieties of the coin have sold for extraordinary amounts at auction. The value of a 1999 Jefferson nickel can vary widely depending on its condition and any errors it might feature. The most valuable 1999 Jefferson nickels are those with minting errors, such as the double die or off-center strikes. In some cases, these coins have been sold for thousands of dollars, with certain specimens fetching as much as $35,000 at auction. Yes, you read that correctly. $35,000 for a single 1999 Jefferson nickel. While such a high value is rare and typically associated with exceptional examples, it shows the immense potential that this unassuming coin holds for collectors. So, how do you determine if your 1999 Jefferson nickel might be worth a small fortune? Start by looking closely at the coin for any signs of unusual minting errors. A double die or off-center strike can make a coin significantly more valuable. Additionally, if your coin is in near mint or uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more than its face value. Having your coin professionally graded by an expert numismatist is a great way to get an accurate estimate of its value. In conclusion, the 1999 Jefferson nickel is much more than just a 5-cent coin. While most of these coins are worth only their face value, certain varieties, particularly those with minting errors, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The coin's rich history, timeless design, and the possibility of hidden errors make it a fascinating piece of American currency. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a newcomer to the hobby, the 1999 Jefferson nickel offers an exciting opportunity to discover valuable treasures in your pocket change. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting insights into the world of coin collecting. Who knows, you might just have a rare and valuable 1999 Jefferson nickel sitting in your collection or change jar right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.